An incredible showing at a British Columbia school board meeting. So we all saw last week, big protests hit the streets in Canadian cities. Over 78 Canadian cities involved in these protests to save the children. And, you know, the main purpose of this was to protect innocence of children. Parents are coming out all over the nation to rail against SOGI, this sexual identity and whatnot taught in schools, which is largely inappropriate for children of young ages to be indoctrinated and taught these ideas in schools. And parents are saying enough is enough. And a massive showing across the nation. Here's footage of the Vancouver one that I actually attended.
At the protest in Vancouver to save our kids. The turnout is fantastic, but we're being tailed by Antifa at the back of the march. And there's been people bobbing in and out trying to grab people's signs and tear them down. This is the scene here in Vancouver. It's unbelievable. It's amazing to see such a turnout. I'm Clyde, yes. How you doing, man? Oh, thank you. I'm just doing a video for Twitter. Gonna put this out. You want to say hi? You want to say hi to everybody?
Hey guys. You so much in here.
Oh, this is great. And everybody's so friendly on this side of things. There's a lot of vitriol happening on the other side, on the Black Bloc or Antifa side. But I mean, it's nothing but love here, and it's a lot of different looking faces, and not a lot of masks. Let me tell you that. There's a lot of people from different walks of life here, and everybody getting together with just nothing but love. I love seeing this. This is what Canada is about. It's beautiful. People are coming together for a great.
It was a fantastic showing. Now, politicians all over Canada took the moment to demonize these parents as they were coming out in the streets talking about parental rights and how they don't want teachers to be able to have conversations with their children about sexual things. And not only that, to have the ability to hide this from parents. Now, recently in New Brunswick, they passed a new law saying that teachers won't be allowed to change a kid's gender. This is unbelievable that I'm even reporting on this, but be able to affirm some child's wanting to change their gender without the parental consent in these cases. Now, teachers have come out in droves saying that this is horrible, but parents are definitely behind this decision for good reasons. Now, Justin Trudeau took the opportunity to demonize people once again in this country with this tweet. He says, "Let me be very clear. Transphobia, homophobia, and biphobia have no place in this country," labeling these parents phobics, for being concerned about their children. "We strongly condemn this hate and its manifestations, and we stand united in support of the LGBTQ plus or QI plus and the two-spirit," whatever that is. "Canadians across the country, you are valid and you are valued." But obviously, this entire group of people are not valued. Now, this protest was largely started by Muslim Canadians who have genuine concerns about this stuff going on. Now, they put out this statement. The Muslim Association of Canada put out a statement calling on politicians to retract their words that they said. Muslim Association of Canada strongly condemns remarks on recent protests made by certain politicians, including our Prime Minister, as well as statements from our school boards, unions, and reports from some media outlets. By characterizing peaceful protest of thousands of concerned parents as hateful, Canadian leaders and school boards are setting a dangerous precedent of using their position to unjustly demonize families and alienate countless students. On Wednesday, September 20th, thousands of Muslims, joined by other faith-based groups, protested to raise their concerns, calling for the rights of as parents in relation to their children's education. Their intent was to be heard, not to sow division. Parents should have the absolute right to advocate for their well-being of their children. The statements from Canadian leaders and school board increase the potential for Muslim children to face increased bullying and harassment in schools, both by educators and peers, a trend that is already distressingly escalating. Civil rights organizations and Muslim organizations across the country have documented numerous validated accounts detailing situations where children have been coerced into activities that contradict their faith, or where parents teaching religious values to their offspring have been unfairly attacked. We call on politicians and school boards, beginning with the Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, to retract their deeply inflammatory and divisive comments and issue an apology to the thousands of Canadian parents hurt by these comments. Now, this was a case that actually happened just over a month ago in a Canadian school, where a teacher was accosting a Muslim student for not wanting to engage in the pride festivities, the activities that were going on, and actually held this over their head that the students came out for Ramadan, and used it as a cudgel to verbally beat this child with.
To not show up because you think if there's some pride activities going on at school, right? Oh, that's fine. Because I'm going to show my opinion by hanging out at the mall. But meanwhile, all of those kids who are, involved in, say, the Gay Street Alliance or whatever, I don't even know if we have that anymore in our school, they're here when we did Ramadan for Lion Time, and they're showing respect in the class for your religion, right? For your beliefs. It goes two ways. If you want to be respected for who you are, if you don't want to suffer prejudice for your religion, your color of skin, your whatever, then you got to give it back to people who are different from you. That's how it works. It's an exchange. And it isn't like that in all countries. As I told you, in Uganda, literally, if they think you're gay, they will execute you. If you believe that kind of thing, then you don't belong here. Because that is not what Canada believes. We believe in freedom. We believe that people can marry whomever they want. That is in the law. And if you don't think that should be the law, you can't be Canadian. You don't belong here. And I mean it. I really mean it. And it's not a joke, Mansour. I said back and forth. You want it, you got to give it.
Unfortunately, it is not an exchange, actually, for this teacher. Freedom is not an exchange. You have your right to religious freedom in this country, and people are standing up for those rights. And people can be gay and people can do all these other things, but they can't force a person to celebrate that. This is the difference here. And this is what's being forced on children. And of course, parents are coming out and objecting to this. Now, Pierre Poilievre, the leader of the official opposition in Canada, came out with a tweet retweeting the Muslim Association of Canada, saying the Muslim Association of Canada demands Trudeau retract his inflammatory and divisive comments against concerned parents. I agree. Trudeau should retract, stop dividing, drop this radical agenda, and butt out so parents can raise their kids. I couldn't agree more. But this is the case, and it's escalating. And as it escalates, we're seeing more and more support. And this is the scene in Abbotsford just the other day.
Hello from British Columbia, Canada. So this happened in Abbotsford tonight when parents decided to tell the Abbotsford School Board at their meeting what they thought of Soji 123.
So if you don't get what's going on in this scene, what's happening is as soon as they were met with some opposition, the school board packed up their stuff and left. They just left. So they didn't want witnesses to see what they're actually putting forward in these schools. This is what's happening. Now fast forward to the going out the door. These were the people waiting outside as well. It wasn't just the people inside.
Needless to say, the meeting was cut short. Then this, outside.
So it went on for some time there.
So the school board members had to be escorted out by RCMP because they were worried about their safety.
People are worried about their
I'm glad
children's
that
safety.
they all made it home safe. But they should all know that people are not going to sit by and let them decide what's going to be taught to their children. Stop Soji 123. Oh, and Sean, you were told your letter wasn't very, very appropriate. This is what happens when you poke the bear. The bear bites back.
Well, that's the obvious situation here. You don't ever get between a bear and its cubs. You don't get between Canadians and their children, and this is what's ending up happening in Canada. Now, the unions are fighting back against parents, fighting back against parents. This is unbelievable, as there was a big counter protest at these protests that took place on the 20th. But as we see, this is not stopping. Canadians are not backing off from protecting their children. This is going to keep going. It's going to keep going. Now, Justin Trudeau did not respond to that tweet. It did not respond to that public statement from the Muslim Association of Canada. He apparently has his own problems at this moment. He's got other fish to fry, apparently. Here's a meme that kind of sums up his whole situation. Here's calling all truckers Nazis, inviting literal Nazis to Parliament, writhing in pain, saying, why would Vladimir Putin do this? Anyway, I'll leave this one with you guys. This is an interesting situation, and it's escalating. It's escalating, and parents are saying, this is enough. We are taking charge of this situation. And we're just going to have to wait and see what happens in the new electoral cycle with these school boards, because with parents being this upset with what's happening in their schools, I'm guessing that in the next cycle that we'll see some different leadership in these school boards. But until then, we're going to see a lot of pressure on them. Leave a comment in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think, and we'll see you in the next one. Keep on trucking.